Yo, we back for some more 2K news, so let's get straight into it, bro.
Mike Wang has just posted a flurry of tweets
Hold on, I want to
exposing
read that.
Mike Wang has
We made the ball extremely vulnerable to steals when posting up far from the rim to make the L2 cheese.
just posted a
The dunk meter green windows will adjust dynamically. Fuck, I can't fucking speak.
flurry of tweets exposing confirmed
Ball handlers will be stunned for a moment when they get a ball poked away from them, and bigs will play a slightly stumble. Slightly. They are her contested block on the rim to give them a defense edge.
NBA 2K26 gameplay news, some of which that is insanely
Who knows, bro?
good.
This
Like
game
the fact
might
there
be
is
the game
no
of the year.
RNG in NBA 2K26
No RNG?
completely confirmed. And other news being not so good, like the fact that adrenaline is changed to where if you do too many standstill dribble moves, you will lose an adrenaline bar this year. An objectively bad change. So yeah, we're gonna cover everything.
Crazy.
The good, the bad, the ugly, all in this one video. And trust me, every single tweet is more important than
No
the last.
RNG
So
though,
sit back,
bro.
relax,
Holy
and enjoy
shit.
the info. By the way, if you don't know how you're gonna get NBA 2K26
Bro, I might
this
be
year, I
green
am
as
giving
fuck
away
now.
50 copies
Cause
for
I know,
free
bro, I
before
know I be
August
timing my
29th.
fucking
So if you want
jump
a free
shot,
copy
bro.
of
I
NBA
know I be
2K26,
timing
all
my
you have to do
jump
is like
shot,
the
bro.
video,
Like
subscribe
I
with
know I do.
notifications on, and comment
No
1
RNG,
mil
bro.
grinding
Holy
down
shit.
below. I've already given away a couple copies, and we have a ton more to do. So make sure y'all enter, and let's get
it,
into this
nigga.
news. Starting off with a bang, Mike Wang tweeted,
Oh,
"We
shit,
made the
fuck.
ball
He was gonna
extremely
speak about this
vulnerable to
anyways.
steals when posting up far from the rim to mitigate the L2 cheese." People with jobs all around the world are celebrating right now. L2 cheese was a top 3 issue in
Yeah, I
NBA
hate that
2K25.
shit, bro.
You hop on the game after a long day of work, and all you ran into on the 2's court
Post
was 2
scorers.
freaks, one that was 7 feet tall with max
Post
strength, and then a
scorers.
6 foot to 6'3" tiny little guard with 99 speed, 99 agility, 99 3-point rating, running around him for free wide open threes. That is officially gone in NBA 2K26. And speaking of nerfing cheese, Mike Wang also tweeted, "We've made efforts to reduce the unrealistic motion/cuts that can result from dexing. Attempting to use dexing to cut back and forth repeatedly will consume adrenaline." Another major Mike Wang W here, dexing and L2 cheesing is super unfun. Not only
Let's
does
go,
it take
bro.
no skill to do,
Hey,
it
whoever
is
was
the
doing
most
that shit, bro,
unfun thing
fuck
to play
y'all
against
niggas,
in
bro.
the entire
That
game.
shit
I'm not gonna lie to you,
fucking
most
irritating,
games
bro.
when I saw people
That
were
shit
doing
is
this, I was like, you
fucking
know what, bro, you
irritating,
got
bro.
it, you can
I
have
should
the
not
win.
be
It
having to
obviously
run
means
around,
more to you than it does
fighting
to me.
around the
So I'm
screen the
very
whole
glad that
fucking
those two
time, and you
methods
just
of
running
learning
back
have
and forth
finally been
like
nerfed.
a
Now, to
little
make this
dick
more
you
interesting, we're gonna
is.
go from
That shit,
positive to
bro.
negative and back
Fuck
and forth.
whoever
So
do
an
that, bro.
objectively negative piece of information, Mike Wang tweeted, "Height and rating restrictions are similar to NBA 2K25 for the new custom layup packages. So if you qualified for a specific player's layup package in NBA 2K25, you'd qualify for all of those players' layup styles in NBA 2K26. Now, granted, you said negative. Why is that a bad thing? It's not necessarily a bad thing, but people were hoping that height restrictions were going to be completely gone in NBA 2K26, meaning that tall players could use Steph Curry layup package and short players could use Shaquille O'Neal layup package, just so that we have more control and creativity of our player. But they are back. It is up to y'all to decide if that's a good or bad thing. Me, personally, I'm on the side we should have no height restrictions for any jump shot, for any layup package, or for any dunk package. Now, hear
Yeah,
me
I'm
out,
on
because I
that
know that
side,
sounds
too.
crazy. If you are able to get the attribute in the builder, then you should be able to use the animation. So for example, tall builds are not able to get a 99 3-point rating in most builders, right? So you won't be able to use the 99 3-point rating jump shot animation. But if you're able to make a tall build that has an 86 3-point rating because you sacrificed your wingspan for it, you should be able to use 86 3-point rating jump shots. I never understood the height requirement if I was able to get the rating in the builder. I really do hope
Yeah,
that
I
one
don't
year
get
they
that
take
either,
off the
bro.
height restrictions from animations, because I truly believe it will show everybody that it is not as overpowered as everyone thinks, because you still have to get the rating in the builder. But anyways, that was a
It's
small
not that
negative. Here is
overpowered.
more of a bigger negative that the whole community basically agrees on. Adrenaline will function very closely to NBA 2K25, but there are some few changes, one of them being that if you spam too many escape moves while standing still, still you will lose an adrenaline bar. If you're not
Damn, that
familiar with
shit
how it worked
foul.
on NBA 2K25, maybe you skipped this year. Basically, you would lose an adrenaline bar whenever you exploded out of a dribble move. It didn't matter what dribble move you did. If you held RT and you sprinted out, that is when you would lose an adrenaline bar. But now they made the change that if you spam too many moves while standing still, you're gonna slowly start losing your adrenaline bars. And you only have 3 per possession, and every time you lose one, the percentage of your shot going in afterwards goes down. So the fact that you lose one after just doing some standstill dribble moves is not a good change in my opinion. If
Yeah,
anything,
that's
it's the
not a good
opposite of what the
change,
community's
bro.
been asking for, which is better dribbling. The dribbling in the past couple 2Ks have felt very stiff and very slow, and they've honestly just lacked creativity. If you played a good player in 2K24 and 2K25, chances are that you've seen other good players use those exact same moves they're using, because there's only a few moves that actually work against real people. So yeah, not a fan of that change. Hopefully it's not like 3 or 4 dribble moves. Maybe it's like if you spam 10 and you're just being like egregious with it, that's when you lose an adrenaline bar. But if I had to guess, it's probably like 3 or 4 dribble
Man, my
moves
boy
that you
was
lose
shooting
an adrenaline
lace
bar.
back
That is
in
gonna
the
be one
day.
of the things I test out the first time I
Hitting
hop
them
on the game on
hoes.
like August 29th. So don't worry, I will let y'all know.
Hitting,
Going back
shooting
to
lace
a
with
W
badge.
change, there is no RNG in NBA 2K26, confirmed by Mike Wang himself. And it seems that some of y'all are a little
2K19
confused
was
about what
overpowered,
RNG
bro.
means in these 2Ks. So Mike Wang further clarified by saying the center of the green windows in 2K19 and 24 were pure, but we used RNG on the edges that lerped from 100 to 0%. For 2K26, if you release anywhere in the green window, it will be a make 100% of the time.
Thank
So just to
you.
clarify, y'all, on 2K24 there was a green window, right? Let's say it's from 50 to 100. If you timed it anywhere between those milliseconds, that was your green window. But on 2K24 and 2K19, on the edges of those green windows, so like 51 or 99, you would have a chance to miss that
Hey, bro, I'm
shot
taking
even
off
though
work
you
for
hit
this,
it in
bro. I don't
between
care.
the 50 to 100
I don't
green window,
care.
just because you were close to missing it. So what they're saying now is on 2K26, if you get a response time between 50 and 100
And we
milliseconds,
gonna be
so
on it
50,
early
51,
too, so
52,
just tune
whatever,
in, bro.
it will be a
Tune
green
in, bro.
100% of the time. That means you have no excuse of missing your wide open shot unless you say you're lagging or a classic 2K excuse like that. Now don't get it twisted, y'all. Of course contest is gonna matter. The defense is gonna affect your green window size, so don't think you're just gonna be pulling over heads like 2K19.
No
but
excuses,
strictly
bro.
speaking about wide open, you should be able to green every single 3 you take depending on your rating. Obviously your rating is also gonna define your green window size. If you have a 99.3, you're wide open, you should green every single 3 wide open. If you were a robot, obviously there is human error, bro. You are gonna mess up your jump shot sometimes, but we're saying that there is no RNG. It is completely up to you, which is what we've wanted. Now a small negative after that, people asked, will instant green celebrations be back? If you played 2K19, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you greened it, you could do the get off me celebration every single jump shot. And Mike Wang basically gave a complicated response that basically translates like, yeah, sometimes it'll activate based on certain factors, but no, not every single shot. Which everyone basically replied to, why can't we just have instant green celebrations no matter what? If we green it, we get the instant green celebration like we had it in previous years. I really don't understand why this is something
Come
2K
on,
is
man.
standing on. Like, I agree with everybody else. Why can't we just have instant green celebrations back? I miss screaming green, get off me whenever I greened over someone's face. Now 2K, if you do happen to change this before 2K26 comes out, please put in the get off me celebration, bro. That is like half of my brand right there, bro. And it hasn't been in since 2K19. I miss it, bro. I really do. Drop a like in the video if you remember the green get off me day. And another minor
Oh, boy,
negative
I
or
remember
minor
that.
positive depending on which side of the argument you're on, Mike Wang tweeted, shot and layup timing risk reward settings have been removed. Everyone will play on the same playing field in NBA 2K26. What that means is no, you cannot go high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward.
why
You don't
he
have that
jumping?
option anymore. Everyone is going to
hitting
be playing
lates.
against each other with the same
My boy
setting,
was hitting
which of course
lates.
means that you have to time your layups this year. There is no setting where you can do real player percentage on layups. You have to time your layups. And I've seen people freaking out over this. All I'm gonna say, man, if you're worried about not being able to time a wide open layup, you
Yeah, that's
either one,
crazy,
made the
bruh.
worst build in 2K history, or two, you have no business playing 2K in the first place, bro. A wide open layup green window is probably gonna be from like 1 to 100. I know y'all remember 2K21 when you could see the green window, bro. It was basically the entire bar. It's actually gonna be harder to miss a wide open layup than it is to make it. I promise you, you're not even gonna have to think about timing it. You're just gonna have to hold X for a little bit and then let it go. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. Now, why this is actually a good change is the contested layups people were making over because they were on real player percentage. Everybody wants to cry about paint defense every year, but they never actually want to fix it. You want to keep making those stupid layups you never had to time right over their center, right? Well, this year, if you want to make that, then you're going to have to time it correctly, which is a W change. You have to put the outcome of the game in the player's
run it down the court,
now for some dunk meter changes. For the first time, I think, ever, the dunk meter green window will adjust dynamically just like layups. And what that means is if you start a dunk meter and you're basically wide open whenever you do the dunk meter, when you start that dunk meter, your green window is going to look really huge. But if somebody comes out of nowhere and tries to LeBron chase down block you, your dunk meter is going to shrink in the middle of your dunk, so you're gonna have to adjust and time it correctly. Now this may be the sweat in me, but again, W change, bro. As long as it's not
bro,
ridiculous.
I'm sending
like
everybody shit, bro. Anybody,
in my dunk meter,
whoever watching this, bro,
then we're gonna have some
go in the
problems.
paint
but
when I'm there, bro.
Rim
Please.
protector comes out of nowhere,
Actually, come
and
in
I
the
probably
paint,
had
bro.
no
Come in the
business going
paint,
for a
bro.
dunk
See
meter
what
there,
happens, bro.
and I
See what
should
happens,
get
bro.
blocked
Come in the
or
paint.
should
See what
miss the
happens.
dunk. Following up on more controlled scenarios, we have something that I'm a little iffy about because it does just sound like words to me. But Mike Wang said ball handlers will be stunned for a moment when they get the ball poked away from them, and bigs will play a slight stumble animation if they're heavily contested / blocked under the rim to give the defense an edge in recovering the 50-50 ball. What he's talking about here is whenever the defense would get a steal and then the offensive player would just pick it right back up, or if the defense would get a block and the offensive player would get his own rebound. Now they're saying that the defense should be favored in these scenarios, which would be a W change if I believed it. All right, this sounds like all words to me. I'm sorry to be the villain here, but I truly believe that 50-50 balls in every single 2K have been complete RNG every single year. Y'all let me know if you agree with that or not. And in my experience, it's always been RNG that favored the offensive player who made a mistake. So if I got ripped, I would be able to pick up the ball more often than they would be able to recover their steal that they earned. So if this is true, major W. But we're gonna have to see to believe it. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be much different than any other 2K. I think the words just sounded good, but we're gonna see. I'd love to be proven wrong here. And as I'm recording this video, Mike Wang just released more dunk meter news. He said holding turbo and the pro stick down is how you meter dunk in NBA 2K26. This will also encourage more flashy dunks, but you can also get flashy dunks on the shot button if you're wide open with no trailing threats. The meter dunk logic has changed a lot, and you'll notice a much bigger green window on open dunks, both driving and standing. Dunk meter overpowered, confirmed, just like NBA 2K24. Nah, I'm kidding, chill. But it probably is going to be way better than NBA 2K25 because people have been complaining all year that the dunk meter sucked this year, which is like the opposite gameplay experience that I personally experienced. I was dunking on a lot of people, but people in the competitive scene have said that dunk meter sucks whenever people are actually good. So if they improved the dunk meter this year and made slashers more viable and high driving dunk builds more viable, then I'm all for it, bro, because this year apparently you really couldn't do that, which made for 99 3-point builds being the meta once again. And don't get me wrong, y'all, there will always be a meta, and if you wanted to bet on a meta every single 2K, a 99 3-point or 99 midi is always going to be a safe bet to win 80 or 90% of your games. It's probably going to be what I'm going to do for my day one build. Spoiler alert, I'm probably going to go with 99-3 and just fade middies for my first couple wins. At the same time, you want diversity. You want 6'8" builds to be viable if they could dunk, just like 2K24, man. 2K24
I'm making 99 rebound, 99 strength build.
It wasn't my favorite game of all time, but they did have more diversity with the taller builds, so I'll give it its credit there. One thing that 2K introduced today was the quick catch and shoot mechanic, which basically when you activate it means you won't dip the ball below your hip whenever you're shooting. If you want to get a quick shot off the catch up, you would just release it from your chest so the defender can't close out on time. We have no idea how we activate this yet, but they did release that. And people obviously had some questions. So the first question is, are there height restrictions on who can do that? Mike Wang said there are no restrictions. Every player can do the quick catch and shoot mechanic. And then one of the best 2K players of all time, Splash, asked, can we do that off of the dribble, or can we only do it off of catch and shoot? And Mike Wang confirmed you can only do it off of catch and shoot. So no, this is not going to be some super overpowered quick stop mechanic. You can only do it off the catch. So my corner sitting lockdowns, man, y'all are rejoicing. You could shoot really quick. I hope some of y'all mastered this because it's going to make you separated at the lockdown position. And if you do master it, make sure to hit me up, bro, because I need corner sitters. You know me, bro. I'm scoring 20 points a game. But hey, you can have the last 3 of the game, bro, all right? You can quick catch and shoot it and really show out for the stream. And the last thing I want to cover in this video is the contest system. Mike Wang put out one last tweet saying there have been a number of changes to the contest system logic. We've rebalanced the effectiveness of hands up, no jump contest, and jumping contest to better reflect how shots are impacted in real life. We're also showing coverage percentages and full shot feedback again. Once again, this is one of those things that sounds like just words to me. They always say, hey, our paint defense is better, and hey, our hands up defense is better, and hey, no more ghost contest this year, y'all. But then we get the game and there's ghost contest and the contest isn't that good, and then the paint defense people are getting yammed on. This is just one of those things that you have to play the game to see. But again, on paper, these words are the right words. We just have to see if there's any meaning behind them. One thing I will say is it's gotta be super hard to balance whether or not to give ghost contests, and then if you put your hands up, you have to factor in your perimeter defense versus the offensive player's 99 3-point rating, and then their Deadeye badge, and then the defensive clamps badge, or whatever the new defensive badge is that year. It's gotta be a lot of math into it, so I do give 2K credit there. It's gotta be hard to balance. But at the end of the day, we're trying to make a game that people will play all year, and the past couple years have not been that. So hopefully NBA 2K26 can make a change. Now y'all, it is currently 2:30 p.m. Central while I'm finishing this video. Mike Wang is going to be tweeting all day, okay? So if there's any news that Mike Wang drops after this video has been released, please drop it in the comments. I will like and heart your comments so everyone can see. Mike Wang is going to be tweeting all day, like I said, bro. So all the new news, please keep me updated. I am going to be living my life after this. I need to go outside. So if y'all could keep me updated like I'm trying to keep y'all updated, I would really appreciate it. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, keep grinding.
Drop a like.
Check us some rallies, $4 unbeatable.
But no, you know, ooh, I might have to go check no mom's cook, but I'll catch y'all niggas in the next one, bro, for some more news or anything that's 2K6 related. But I'll catch y'all niggas later, bro.